Thank you for tuning in tonight. Hope you stick around in the next 30 minutes here on Time Out on TVNB. Some of the topics we will be discussing is the Fredericton Canadians are leaving the capital city at the end of this season. Theo Fleury could be on the trade block within the next few days, and the St. John Flames seem to have their winning ways back in form. All that and a whole lot more coming up, so stick around. And a very good Monday evening. Welcome into Time Out here on TVNB. Jim Hennessy joined by a full studio crew this week. How you doing, everybody?
Good.
All right, let's count it down here. Let's hope I get the names right here. This is Colin Mann.
Right here.
That's Colin Mann. I'm sorry. I messed it up already. Look at that. How about we do it this way? What's your name? There we go. And you're Colin Mann?
Yeah.
Art Como, nice to see you, Art. And, of course, Bruce McDonald in the back. Nice shirt on this
like
week,
that,
buddy.
like that, Jim?
Johnny, can we zoom in on that? All right, let's get
we won Saturday night, so I had to put this on.
Getting the show off on the right start this week, folks.
Yeah.
Thank you for tuning in, and we hope you stick around the next 30 minutes. We got a lot to talk about, so let's get right to it. Let's find out what you boys play hockey at. Let's get a shot of the jersey there. All right. You boys play schoolboy hockey?
Yeah.
What team do you play for? Yeah? How'd you do this year?
Good.
Good? You still playing?
Yeah.
Yeah? How's your record?
Good.
Good?
Average.
Average? Do you know what your record is?
No.
Art, I bet you know what their record is.
Actually, we don't really push records that much.
Okay.
They just play, we've played probably 30, 32 hockey games.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't tell them the standings.
Oh, great. So you guys are doing okay then. What position do you play?
Defense.
Defense?
Defense.
And you're the captain?
Yeah.
Yeah? So you help the boys out on the ice, get them organized and everything when things go a little astray?
Yeah.
Yeah? You guys enjoying it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about schoolboy hockey, Art, someone who might not know that much about the league.
Well, we have, the league's been going for probably 70 years, but it's very quiet. It doesn't really get a lot of publicity. Right now we have 24 teams playing in the elementary division.
Really?
And 7 in the, what we call varsity division, which would be more what we used to call junior high.
Mm-hmm.
And probably a registration of around 500 kids.
Beautiful.
And they'll play, the elementary teams in junior high will play between 30 and 35 hockey games a year.
Great. So, like you said, you don't really keep track of the win-loss situation. There's no playoffs, and you guys just go out there and basically try to teach the skills and the team spirit, and just get the boys out there having some fun.
We teach a lot of skills as much as we can anyway. And what I do, there are myself and Ernie Ring. We do keep standings, but we see them and we try to match the teams up by to try to keep the games competitive.
Sure.
But that outside of that, standings are not published.
Right.
Now in the varsity division, there is a championship declared there. The children are a little older and
Sure.
they can handle it.
It means a little bit more to them, yeah. Sure. So you guys, how long have you been playing?
First year.
First year?
Fifth.
Your 5th year? Wow, no wonder you're wearing the C. So how are you enjoying it?
Good.
Is it good? Yeah?
Yeah.
Now I noticed that they're bringing in the junior levels and quite a few other leagues as well. The hitting from behind has become a big controversy in all hockey leagues. They're putting the stop signs on the jerseys. Will you guys be doing that next year?
It's not a problem in our league. We do have very stringent rules in terms of contact, and we really haven't had the problem because the coaches in the league and the league itself, right from the word go, we tell the kids we're just not going to tolerate this
Sure.
type of thing. If someone is to do it,
They're out.
they're out.
Okay. So you guys don't have a problem? Nobody, you've never taken a vicious hit this year? Or you've been playing for 5 years. How do you find the league?
Good.
A lot of fun? Just get out there, a lot of laughs, and score some goals, and have some fun with your friends.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, let's turn the page to the St. John Flames. Been playing well of late, making a late drive here in the season. What do you guys think about the Flames?
They're doing good.
Yeah?
Pretty good.
You saw the game on Saturday night against Portland?
Yeah.
What do you think?
They played good,
Yeah?
but they started to get a little slumpish at the end of the game.
A little sloppy in the 3rd period. The defense kind of laid down.
Yeah.
How many games have you been to?
Probably 15.
About 15? Do you like going down to Harbor Station?
Yeah.
Yeah? How about you? You been to any games?
Yeah.
Yeah? You like it down there?
Yeah.
Good stuff. Bruce, I know you like down there. You live down there. That's your second home.
Well, the LBR is my second home. Harbor Station is my third home, actually. So the game was a good game Saturday night. They played well. Jaguar played good until the last 2 goals. He might have had those, but anyway, the game I think was close to being decided by that point.
Sure.
St. Louis was the best player on the ice Saturday night, and David Cooper continues to improve. So
Slowly but surely.
yeah, he's +3 again Saturday night. So we'll see.
Yeah.
He's coming around.
What would that give him? Minus
minus
28,
30,
I think?
yeah.
Minus 28, somewhere around there. Yeah, he's improving as the year goes on.
Well, he can't get any worse, can he? So.
No, that's true. There's only one place to go, and that's up for David Cooper.
Right, that's right.
Yeah. Art, were you at the game on Saturday night?
Oh yeah.
Your feelings on the game?
Oh, I think the Flames are starting to turn a corner. You know, like you can start to see some leadership from some of the veterans, particularly Don McKelly.
Great night for Don McKelly.
You know, like the last 2 weeks, it looks like he's starting to maybe accept the fact that he's playing here in St. John right now.
Sure.
And not in Calgary.
Exactly. And he's going to have to accept that fact, and he had a hat trick Saturday night, so not a bad showing from him at all. Chris Clark, good to see him. Scored 2 goals. He absolutely undressed Martin Brochu for his first goal. Long coming. I mean, Vibes, you know, wasn't really giving this kid a lot of ice time, and I think Clark went to him and said, you know, look, I'd like to play a little more. I think I'm a better player than you're giving me credit for. He says, all right, if I'm going to play you, you're going to have to show me something. He scores 2 goals on Saturday night, so good to see that.
I like Chris Clark, but the line I really enjoyed watching last night was the crash and burn line there at Dingman, Roche, and Bégin. They're nice to watch. They work. Say we will about Dingman. He's not the greatest hockey player in the world, but he really works out there hard. So
No question.
give him credit for that.
He reminds me of a Tim Kerr, and I think his role has to excel to that point. With the size that this guy has, his skating skills improving over the years ever since we first saw him here at Harbor Station. He has to make that traffic out in front of the net. I believe it was Chris Clark's first goal. You saw Dingman hanging around in the zone. You saw him set up the traffic to get those 2 defensemen on him, and that freed Clark up to make that beautiful move to get that goal on Brochu. And I think that has to be Dingman's role from now on. Whether, you know, he likes it or whether he doesn't like it, he's fitting into it very well. He's playing it very great, and I think that, if he continues to play that role, sort of a Tim Kerr role is what it reminds me of, this guy is going to get the call up to Calgary very shortly.
But Chris Dingman will never score 50 goals in the National Hockey League season.
Absolutely not.
I mean, that's a difference there, I guess. But
if he can continue to set up that traffic and cause that traffic, there's going to be a few pucks that do bounce off his blade, and there's going to be a few pucks that go off someone else's blade to score the goal, and that's what it's all about. It's a team effort, right?
That's
so
right.
if he can help out the team in that factor, hopefully Rick Vibe and Jeff Perry noticed how well he played that role Saturday night, so hopefully that'll be the role that he excels in. You boys wanted to discuss something here, and it's going to get a little fire going here. Speaking of the Flames, you guys wanted to discuss something that goes on down at Harbor Station, and
do you want me to lead off here?
whoever wants to grab a hold of the reins, go for it.
It stems from a few years ago. Going to a hockey game, you used to enjoy talking to your fellow fans in between stoppages and plays, and maybe yelling a bit at the opposition and the referees if you're so inclined to do that. You can't do that any longer with this music blasting in between the stoppages. I know it's to bring the young kids in and they enjoy it, but I think it's too loud to begin with. I think it's there too often. I think they should give the real fans that go to the games, have been going forever, an opportunity to get into the game and enjoy it as well.
Art?
Yeah, the music thing has extended itself to the Beaverbrook, where we have the junior B hockey. And like there's 150 people in the rink, of whom about 140 are not kids. And they continue to blast the music. And at the LBR, we have a tradition more perhaps where it's a smaller environment.
Sure.
There's more contact between the fans and the players. And you know, like a lot of us who are regulars at the junior are saying, like, what is the music for? Between periods, fine.
Sure.
But during the game, let the fans enjoy the hockey game, you know?
Okay. What do you guys think? You've been to 15 games at Harbor Station. What do you think about the music? Do you like it? Is it too loud?
No.
No? You like it nice and loud?
The answer.
Yeah, crank it up, baby.
I don't like it too loud.
So you don't mind the music, though, in between, like when the stoppage of play is going on, you like a little tune to keep your toe tapping, finger snapping?
Yeah, just a little thing, but not much.
There you go. A little ditty. Gather around the fire, kids. What do you think about the music at Harbor Station? Do you like it?
Yeah, it's okay sometimes, but sometimes they just go a little bit too far.
It's too loud?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, so if you're sitting next to your buddy, you can't talk to him back and forth. You're screaming at him.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, all right. You want my honest opinion on this?
No, I think we should go on to the next topic.
Well, I'll tell you right off the top, I used to play the music at Harbor Station, and the feedback that I kept getting all the time was, you're playing too much rock and roll, you're not playing enough country, it just revolved in a circle. Now, the problem with Harbor Station The setup is awful. You've got one cluster of speakers in the west end of the building, and that's it. So the poor folks up in the upper section on the east end of the building can't hear the music. Okay, but the people sitting down in the west end that are right underneath that cluster of speakers, they're getting hammered with the tunes. Now, we did talk about this before we went on camera, that the music the level has gone down over the past couple of years. But my argument is with this whole thing, and the LBR aside, we'll talk about that later, but Harbor Station, it's not a library. Okay, it's a hockey arena.
That's
if
right.
you go to the Molson Center, you go to the Air Canada Center, you go to any of the venues in the NHL, they play the tunes. And, you know, it's entertainment. And, I mean, let's face it, sports has become a business, and it's an entertainment business. You don't get the fans there anymore just because they're pure hockey-driven hockey fans. Well, let's say out of 100%, it's not like it used to be. I mean, you might get about 65%, maybe even less than that are pure driven, follow the standings every week, play the pro lines every day, hockey fans. Okay? The entertainment value has to be there. There's no question in my mind.
I
think the music is a good idea. Maybe a little too much. I might agree with you on that. Maybe give a couple of stoppages where there's no tunes. Just give the fans a chance to get themselves revved up in the game. But last Saturday night's game was a perfect example where for the first 30 minutes of that game, it was trap, zone, defensive, whatever you want to call it. It was a 1-0 game, a little lackluster to say the least. There really wasn't that much to stand up and cheer about. So the music helped keep the fans into the game. That's my argument.
Okay.
You know what I mean? When you've got a lull in the game like that, okay, Flames had a goal called back, should have been 2-0, but I mean, there was a lot of excitement there, but you've got to have a little bit when it's a boring game and it's a slow moving defensive game. I think you need that music to keep the crowd into it. I really do. LBR, a different story. I used to sit down there and cover the junior A team, you know, frozen blue toes. We've all got the evidence of being down there, but the thing with the LBR, you're exactly right. There's 150 people there, and let's face it, the acoustics at the old barn are not exactly the best. They play a tune down on this end of the building, it's still bouncing off that side of the building 10 minutes later. I agree with you at the LBR, but at Harbor Station, I think the music has to stay.
Okay.
Well,
I really do.
I'm a season ticket holder who has seen literally every St. John Flame game played at Harbor Station, and yeah, I can accept it. I don't have a problem with the music. All I'm saying is let's give the hockey person a chance as well. Maybe they can, if there's a stoppage of play that's 1 minute long, play music for 30 seconds.
Sure.
And then let the fan talk for a couple of seconds about what they just saw. Because as hockey people, we like to pretend that we know what we're doing, and we like to analyze every play. Because I think we're all in our own minds prospective NHL coaches or whatever, or general managers in particular, and they're just taking that away from us. And where I sit, this is the consensus of a number of people. But it's season ticket country, so it's also where the hockey fan is.
Absolutely. And I mean, you guys are showing the dollars, like you said, year after year to go down and see the product. So, I mean, yeah, your voices definitely have to be heard. Let's turn the page here. Let's travel up Highway 7. Unfortunately, the Fredericton Canadians will no longer be in the AHL. They will be, but in a different city. They won't be in Fredericton after 9 years. Wayne Gamble, you know, has fought the good fight trying to keep that team there, but Ronald Corey, president of the Montreal Canadiens, made the via satellite link-up call to Fredericton on Friday afternoon and said that they were pulling ship. They won't be in Fredericton after this season, depending, of course, on how long the playoff run continues for the boys. We'll start on this end. What do you think about them leaving?
I don't know really, because like,
No good for the league?
no.
Makes it hard.
Yeah.
What do you think?
It stops a bit of rivalry for St. John Flames and Fredericton Canadians. That's what I think.
No question. Art?
Yeah, I guess as a traditionalist, we're going to really hate to see St. John and Fredericton's, the rivalry fail to exist. I'm a Montreal fan who hates Fredericton, so it puts you into a real quandary during the games.
Absolutely.
You know? But the Flames will rule.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's a real shame, and it's going to hurt the American Hockey League because we're being overwhelmed by American teams or upper Canadian teams as it is.
Yeah. What do you think, Bruce? I know you've got something to say on this.
No, I have no comment. No, you know better than that. Anyway, here's what I think. I think for years now they should have been gone, to be honest. They haven't drawn up there basically since St. John has been in the league. The only games that were sellouts, I think, is when we were up there.
Yeah.
And
the majority of the fans in the stands were from St. John.
It's sad to see this happen for sure, because we enjoyed going up and seeing them, and I'm a Montreal fan, and I hate the Fredericton Canadians too, but it was funny, you know, you'd root for them, you hate them, but you didn't want to see any of their guys get hurt, the guys you knew were going up to Montreal that would help our team.
Sure.
But I think they'll do well in Quebec City. They're not going to be called the Quebec City Canadians from what I heard too. They're going to come up with their own name up there, so that part of it will be gone, but I think overall for Montreal developing their players, it's a better situation for them in there. You have a bigger area where they will be supported, I believe.
A little closer to home.
Yeah, and it's closer to bring the players to and from Montreal,
Sure.
2-hour drive. So.
Well, that's the way the AHL and the NHL appear to be going. I mean, let's take Philadelphia, for example. The Phantoms, and, you know, I mean, they're right next door to the Flyers. I mean, literally. I mean, you walk out the front door of the Spectrum, you're at the Core State Center, and vice versa. And I think that's the way you look at Kentucky. They're drawing over 10,000 people a game for AHL hockey, and they're going to the bigger arenas, and it all comes down, once again, to the great almighty American dollar. The AHL is not, you know, the boys in the head office are not stupid. They know that the Canadian dollar, it hurts the Flames big time. Stu McDonald went on record saying, you know, instead of taking a 45-minute ride up Highway 7 to go play a hockey game, now we're going to have to charter a flight out to Quebec City, pay for a hotel, pay for meals. These all add up. So, you know, how much longer can this go on for the Atlantic Division?
Well, I think they'll make up some of that, because you have to look at the fact how many of those Fredericton fans will be coming to our rink now.
Sure.
They're going to make up some of that money there. I mean, the big story in the paper was an interview with Agnes McCarthy, who's one of the most diehard fans in the history of the province, history of anywhere, really. And I mean, I get stories going back forever with her from baseball and hockey, and we had our differences like everyone from St. John and Fredericton have, but she's one of those fans that you have to have, and it's sad to see her along with a lot of other, they have a lot of diehard fans up there too.
And they're losing out.
And they're losing out on their team, but I think you'll see some of those fans down here.
Oh, we'll get the spillover, there's no question about that.
Before we had a team, we had a lot of fans from here spilling up there too. So.
And it looks like, you know, junior hockey is the rumbling and the rumor, but we'll get back to that in the second half of the show. We're going to take a quick break, but we're coming right back, and we hope you do as well.
It's not Carnegie Hall or the Apollo, but then again, who would want it to be? One large entertainment serving of music, comedy, and down-home laughter. Friday nights at 11 on Channel 10 TVNB.
And welcome back into the second half of time out here on TVNB. St. John Flames were in action at Harbor Station. Real good crowd for Saturday night's game. Over 5,100 down at the station to see the St. John Flames do battle with the Portland Pirates. And here's some of the action from Saturday night.
For Pankowitz over the Portland line for Varlamov on the left side. Varlamov centers it. Oh, and Mark Major redirected it off the post. Marha leaves it at the side of the net for Tucker. Turnover. Bejan in front. Dingman dishes off. They score! Day Roach. Breton can't get it out. Clark steals it. Clark moving in. Clark back in. Scores! Probably for unsportsmanlike conduct.
2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct.
I don't know what he's sour about. Is Cooper takes his shot. That was why they score! Roach plays the puck in behind the net. Bejan tries to get to it. Hulse impedes his progress. Now Bejan steps in front, scores!
2 assists from 3 shots the other night in Fredericton. Oh, here we go.
Ryan Vandenbush and Chris Dingman. Vandenbush and Dingman tie one another up. Dingman came in with a big right, but Vandenbush ducked out of the way. Now Dingman lands a few rights. Vandenbush going with the left. Dingman switches to the left. Now Dingman flails with a big right hand.
Whoa.
Oh, Dingman landed a good one. And then the players crash to the ice.
27 seconds.
Roach moves in with a shot. Brochu knocked that one aside with the blocker. And now we've got another fight. Mark Major and Steve Bejan. Bejan with a couple of right hands. Oh, Bejan picked up Major by the legs and flung him into the net, and now Major's caught under the collar. As the linesmen are intervening, Bejan, just like a little pit bull, just grabbed Major and dropped him to the ice. Ryan Gillis from the faceoff with a shot. Giguère comes out, makes a save. They score on the rebound, and I believe it's the captain, Kent Hulse. Here's Dom Kelly. Working his way into the Portland zone. Dom Kelly in behind the net, steps in front, shot, score! The first hat trick of the season for the St. John Flame, Nat Dom Kelly, and the Flames have a 5-1 lead. Murray fires it ahead. Here's Dumas behind the St. John defense with a shot, scores! 29th goal of the season for the flashy rookie Jean-Pierre Dumas. And the Flames' lead is now 5-2.
Buffalo right now pretty deep in goaltending with Biron, Rollison, and certainly the Dominator. But Flames will get a big test tomorrow night. Eric Healy picking it up, dumping it off to Chris Clark. Scores! Eric Healy dumping it off to Chris Clark, and a good job going top shelf on Martin Brochu.
And thank you to Aaron Kennedy for the call on Saturday night's game as the Flames get by the Portland Pirates 6-3 and continue to move up in the standings in the latter half of the season as the playoff drive gets underway. Back into the studio here. You guys played a game Saturday, is that right?
Yeah.
How'd you guys make out?
Good.
You scored the winning goal?
Yeah.
Yeah? How much time was left on the clock? Do you remember?
About 2-3 minutes.
Ooh, barn burner right down to the end.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So you guys play with the girls as well?
Yeah.
Yeah? So how do you find that?
Fair.
It's great?
Fair.
Because there's no checking or anything in the lake, right?
No, we only got one on our team anyway.
Is that right? So is she a little intimidated playing with a team full of guys, or does she just get out there and have fun like everybody else?
Well, she just goes out there and has fun.
Yeah? What's her name?
Ashley.
Ashley what? Don't know?
Kincaid.
Do you want to say hi to Ashley? You just gave her a plug. Nice going.
Ashley was never intimidated by anybody.
She'll love you when you get back to the rink. Trust me, you mentioned her name on TV. She'll love you for sure. So you guys, who do you follow in the NHL? Who do you like?
Montreal.
Montreal?
Montreal.
Both Canadiens fans?
Yeah.
Jeez, they're going to think we're stacking the old guests here for the next couple of weeks. That's good, though. I like that. I'm a Montreal fan myself. So do you think they're going to make the playoffs this year?
I don't know.
Don't know? Keeping your fingers, eyes, and toes all crossed that they do?
Yeah.
You
As long as
betcha.
they don't get on another losing streak.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
can't afford it.
really.
They got to win some games away from home, too, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bruce and I know that all too well. And Art, you're a Montreal fan as well. Beautiful. We got a stack this week. I love it.
There's only two fans, Montreal fans and those that wish they were.
We're going to get some letters about that one, I guarantee that. Anyway, let's get back to the situation in Fredericton where, of course, the AHL team will no longer be there. And a friend of mine and I were talking about this down at the rink Saturday night at Harper Station, and we were discussing that how ironic would it be, of course, we remember when the Cape Breton Oilers were around and they won the Calder Cup, and then all of a sudden the moving vans were backed up into the Center 200, and the team was pulled out. Fredericton doing extremely well after that sluggish start out of the gate. Yes. How ironic would it be to see these boys win the Calder Cup and then all of a sudden they're gone?
Well, I think in our division, Fredericton's the only team that can give us a go come playoff time, from what I've seen. Lowell's leading the division, but I don't think they have the team to beat. Sure. St. John's has nothing, and Portland has nothing, to be quite honest. I think it'd be a Fredericton-St. John final as long as the standings allow that. And after that, it's going to be tough for anybody coming out of this division, but come up against a Providence or someone along that line. But sure. Fredericton certainly, with Theodore in net now, and they got lots of offense, they can go a long way.
No question.
No doubt about it.
What do you think about that, Eric?
Yeah, there's no question that the St. John Fredericton conference final certainly looks that way, or divisional final, I guess you should say.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you. The irony would certainly be there if Fredericton went on, which they're not, of course, because they won't beat the Flames. But
sorry,
if they did, it's too bad because we have lost good teams down here, and unfortunately we're victims of the almighty dollar.
Financial.
However, interestingly, like the AHL goes to Lowell, and they're drawn below Fredericton or equal to Fredericton. So
exactly,
it's maybe the moguls don't know everything they think they know.
What's even more ironic is the fact that when Moncton left the league, they made the league final the final year they were.
They did.
That's
as
right,
well.
they did too.
Yeah.
They lost out to who were they playing? They played Portland in the semis that year.
They played Albany in the final.
Albany in the final.
Yeah.
That's right.
We went up there for the playoff games, and you could call the game day and get seats right down by the ice if you wanted to.
Exactly.
You could see it happening there.
Sad to see it.
Yeah.
It really is. But I mean, look at the way junior hockey is thriving in Moncton with the Wildcats. Of course, that's the next logical step with the AHL franchise leaving Fredericton. Junior hockey, Cape Breton. The rumbling is they're having a little bit of money trouble. Drummondville is having a little bit of money trouble as well. So, I mean, I think the obvious setup that they'd love to have, of course, is this Atlantic sweep. Halifax, Moncton, Cape Breton, if they do stick around. Let's say, for example, that Drummondville moves their franchise to Fredericton. I mean, the rumblings, of course, with Fredericton leaving the AHL is how much longer are the Flames going to be here. They signed a 5-year deal, but of course there's always a clause for both sides that they can pull out at any time that they feel is financially or whatever reason necessary. So do you think the Flames are going to play out this 5-year contract, or are they gone? We'll start with you, Art.
I think the AHL will stay here. I think that the hockey fans in St. John really want to see the Flames. If something happens that the new rink does not get built in St. John's, then we could be in serious trouble.
Sure.
If the Leafs do fold, or if something happens in Portland where the situation is also not real stable.
Exactly.
Then we could be in trouble, because then we're kind of off by ourselves.
Yeah, that division starts dwindling down slowly. Bruce, what do you think?
I agree on that one totally. I agree with the Leaf situation. I think they could be the team that could move before St. John, New Brunswick does. And Portland never thought about that, but you're right, Art, on that one. But we're only an hour north of the border, really, when you look at it. And we've supported this team quite well over the years. If we can average $5,000 a game, we can make money here, and we're situated with a team that's Canadian as well. So I think we'll be okay here for a few years. I mean, I'd hate to see the AHL leave because I enjoy it. We waited forever to get it here, and I'd hate to see it leave now.
A couple of quick notes. AAA Midget Flames, of course, doing extremely well. They've won their first round playoff series. They're moving on to play Moncton. I believe that series, correct me if I'm wrong, gets underway tomorrow night?
Tuesday in Moncton.
In Moncton. That should be a good series because they played in the final last year, and that was a great back-and-forth series. And Junior B team, they're down 3-1. Unfortunately, they're heading back to Woodstock on
Wednesday evening.
7 o'clock game start, or 8?
7 or 8 or 9 or 10.
Yeah, well, we'll say 7:30 just to be in the middle
John's
and be
going
safe.
up there anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So we wish the Thomas Construction Junior B team all the best heading into that playoff final. Guys, anybody you want to say hello to? Your mom, your dad, or anything?
No.
You don't want to say hi to your mother and father?
Hi, Mom.
You better, because when you get home, you'll get in trouble. Exactly.
A little wave to everybody.
A little wave to everybody?
Yeah.
Listen, guys, I really appreciate you coming in. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
All right. Art, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. Bruce, as always, it's a lot of fun. Love the shirt, buddy.
Thank you, Jim.
We can't wait to see what you're wearing next week.
Okay.
And thank you to everybody for tuning in this week. We hope you had as much fun as we did, and we'll talk to you again next Monday at 6 o'clock for Time Out here on TVNB. Have yourself a great week.